minus,
Since there's Nokia today, reset has to be HTC, then reset is iPhone, then
Robert is minus. Robert, we're good to go. We have minus. Robert soon falls.
When I saw that, I was like,
fed up.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, yeah, you were saying.
The best or nothing.
Oh, you've got to be.
I went back to the beginning. I was listening to our first podcast in the beginning. We have chilled, eh?
We have chilled?
Yes, we have chilled.
What do you mean chilled?
There's a lot of emotion in our first. There's a lot of emotion.
Really?
So,
Guy.
I want us to bring us back. Our purpose right now is to bring that back.
No, what do you mean there's we've got less emotion?
Yes.
No.
I'm more sober.
You said it the last time. You said, in as much as this is unscripted, which it really is, because we've been doing it for quite a while now, we are a bit more structured in the unscriptedness of it.
Yes.
It's
so I'm throwing that out today.
It's still off the cuff.
I'm throwing that out.
Yeah.
Today.
What do you mean off the? What do you mean?
My purpose today is just going to be that. I'm going to throw it out of the way.
What?
Today's topic.
Yeah.
What we're going to delve on is purpose and how we should get rid of all this mediocrity.
Oh, so you're saying purpose purpose and mediocre cannot be put on the same playing field?
No, unless you're contradicting each other. Because with purpose, there is no mediocrity.
Okay.
I'm going to let that mill over.
Because mediocrity, as far as you're concerned,
has got no purpose, no direction,
is stagnancy.
No definition.
What, mediocrity?
Yes, it's got no definition.
No, it's got a definition.
Exactly.
But in itself, it's a definition.
Of course there is. I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's got no definition in the terms of where it's going and what it's doing.
What, mediocrity has got no finality?
Absolutely.
No, but it does.
No, it's got perpetual chaos. That's what it's got.
What, mediocrity?
Yes.
No, it's not perpetual chaos.
It's perpetual chaos.
No, it's not perpetual chaos.
It is perpetual chaos.
No,
mediocrity is perpetual chaos.
Perpetual.
It doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, but that's not chaotic.
That is chaotic.
No. Not going anywhere is not chaotic.
So I'm a ship with a rudderless,
You're a rudderless ship.
And you're just going, yeah.
No,
you don't know where you're going.
No.
And that's good for you?
Having no rudder doesn't mean you're mediocre.
Yes, it does.
No.
What's your purpose?
No.
Thank you.
No, I'm trying to get rid of the thing where you're saying mediocrity breeds chaos. It doesn't.
Nah, it's chaotic.
It's not.
It's chaotic.
It's just stagnant.
I wish you had
it
your
just brings
dictionary.
stagnancy.
I wish you had your dictionary.
It brings stagnancy. Mediocrity brings stagnancy, which is not directly linked
No,
to
it
chaos.
doesn't.
It does.
Mediocrity, no, it doesn't mean stagnant. You could be mediocre and causing a lot of...
I didn't say it means stagnant. It breeds stagnancy.
As in you're not going anywhere.
As in there's no end.
Say it.
There's no expected end.
Yes, which is chaos.
No, it's not chaos.
Oh.
It's just no expected end.
Hey, group but
it's not chaos.
That's just chaos. Where are we going? Nowhere. We don't know. Anyway, bringing in the topic, purpose.
Chaos is a state of utter confusion.
Thank you very much.
No, but that's not mediocrity.
That is mediocrity.
No, man.
You're mediocre.
No, mediocre is just a lack of excellence.
And what is excellence? But the repetition of a habit that always makes you better.
I've gone quiet because I'm opening the dictionary. A moderate, mediocre, of moderate or low quality, of low value, low ability, low performance. It's ordinary, so and so. Nowhere in all its synonyms and antonyms is there chaos.
Great. Okay, so of no importance whatsoever. Do you like chaos?
No, because chaos in itself breeds hostility.
Not necessarily.
No, it does.
Not necessarily, no.
Yeah, because chaos is a result of the people pulling in different directions.
This
breeds hostility.
This is why.
But it's got nothing to do with mediocre. Mediocre has just got to do with low value, low quality.
Yes. Why? Why are you on that? This is the part. That's why, can I use my word now?
Yeah.
I'm fed up with that sort of situation because it's mediocre.
Mediocre is low value. There's no chaos.
It is chaotic.
No, man.
When I've got something of low value, it doesn't give me anything. Low value is what? Something that doesn't give you anything. That
it doesn't give you benefit. The benefit which you're looking forward to.
Exactly.
Or looking
Benefit, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So
but
that's not the benefit. What use are you?
No, we're talking about the word chaos.
Yes, it's chaotic.
No,
we're
man,
moving in this direction because we got goals we want to achieve. Your low value has got no goals.
Yeah, but that's got nothing to do with chaos. It has nothing to do with chaos. Chris, my issue here is you talking about chaos.
Chaos has got no definition.
Chaos is a state of utter confusion.
It's got no definition here.
Yeah, but that's got nothing to do with
mediocre is what? It's low definition, low purpose, low what?
Low value.
Low value.
Yeah.
So,
it doesn't mean there's a lack of definition. That is low value.
Every podcast we've dropped this line: the best or nothing.
Yeah.
So if it's not the best, it is
nothing.
I rest my case.
But chaos hasn't been
I rest my
up.
case.
Chaos has not been brought up. There's nothing chaotic about being mediocre.
Okay, so if you're chaotic, you're not defined.
If you're you're not defined.
You're not defined.
You have no
If you're not defined,
standard.
you know what? You beat me on one argument where you said to me, you did not define something. That's why you're in this state that you're in. Remember, 6 podcasts ago.
Yeah.
And I took it and I said, that's actually quite cool. And I said, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Because if I had definition, I would know where I'm going.
Yeah,
if I don't have definition,
definition precedes.
I am what? If I don't have the definition.
If you have no definition,
I'm chaotic. I'm all over the place.
No, you're not.
I'm
chaotic.
all over the place.
No,
if I'm all over the place, I am not of excellence.
No.
If I'm not of excellence, I am mediocre. Chaos equals mediocrity.
No, man.
Rest my case.
No.
Can I introduce the topic? That was the prelude.
Look,
That was
Chris,
the prelude. I got the mic. You're going to get your mic in an hour after this. I got the mic. Purpose in this particular point is I've met a lot of individuals who come to and they just don't have purpose. They are very chaotic in what they're doing. And I'm using my right words here. They're very chaotic in what they're doing. So you'd find them following a path which is not defined. I love that. Thank you for doing that. Which is not defined. And if it's not defined, it's not going anywhere. If you're not going anywhere, you're just mediocre because your life is chaotic. You're chaotic. See, now I can't pronounce half the words.
You're not chaotic.
When you're stagnant, what's happening? You're dying.
Not really.
You're dying.
No.
Keep it moving. Keep it moving. And that's my thing today. You're not moving. You're not going anywhere. Hi, our relationship has been stagnant for the last 6 months. Nothing has been happening. Yeah. There's been no purpose. No purpose has been defined. Purpose is definition purely by it. Where are you going? What it is. My talk today is how you can define purpose. What is a good definition of it? Is there one singular purpose that you're supposed to go as one individual or throughout?
Yes. Yes.
You think so?
One
you think
single
purpose doesn't change?
Never
I think your
changes.
purpose has changed.
No, purpose doesn't change.
Moment I met you,
In May. We said this about 2-3 podcasts ago.
no, so the first time
we met years ago.
yes, the first time I knew of you is when you were, you're very
was very
agile on your feet. Now you're just old. We need to get you a cane.
Bruh,
actually.
I'm not,
We need to get you a
I'm
cane.
not.
Didn't you say
Bruh,
you
I'm
blew
not.
out your knees?
No, no.
Didn't you blow out your knees?
But it's not going to stop me from doing what I need to do.
Do you dance anymore?
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
I
Wait.
do. I don't choreograph.
Why don't you choreograph
But I
anymore?
do. Because I'm too expensive.
That's your excuse?
No, that was it.
That's your excuse?
That was it.
I like that. So your purpose was to say, this is the value I've put into it, and I'm
Yeah.
only going to be moved from here if somebody pays that certain value.
That's it.
That's your purpose.
For that
Value.
skill set.
Yes.
For that
That's
season
it.
in my life. That was
That's
it.
it.
I was not going to drop my...
I'm not going to blow my knees out for anything lower than that. That's what you said, right? Right?
You're crazy.
Great. So that's a definition of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
And
not
so
mediocre.
I walked away with my
That's not
definition, and I'm
chaotic.
fine, and I'm confident in that.
How often do you do work now?
That? No, I don't.
At all?
Not at all. If there are those that can afford it, now what I'm doing is I'm grooming somebody to take over,
Oh, okay.
and she's doing a good job.
Same sort of energy.
Same vigor, same energy that works. When they get lost, I just say do A, B, C, D.
Oh, wow. You're old now.
I just don't have the time.
You don't have the time.
I don't have the time. For those that are trying to figure out what's going on, Chris is just trying to push my buttons. I don't have the time, Chris. I don't have the time.
You don't have the purpose anymore.
It's not about purpose. I just don't have the time. Let me tell you. Let me give you a slight insight to what was happening during that season. I'd wake up in the morning, Saturday. No, I would start on a Friday. I'll go to work Friday, finish work at 5:30. Actually, not 5:30, 4:30. Pick up family, take them home, go for my first training session from 6 to 8 Friday night. And then Saturday, I'd wake up, go for dance practice with my mates from 8 to 10. From there, I'd start choreography with clients. Start the first one from 11 to 1 o'clock. The next one's from 2 to 4 o'clock. The next one from 6 to 8 o'clock. Sunday, I'll go to church and take my family home. And I'll meet up with the crew from 2 to 4 o'clock. I did that for close to a year and a half.
So it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay, no other days in between. You rest during those?
Unless the event
demanded it,
I would meet them from Monday through to Saturday.
Okay.
Every evening. I'll do that without batting an
How long did you do that for?
In its entirety, I did it for close to 10 years.
That's a career.
Yeah. But then when I had kids, I had to stop.
The proverbial excuse, yeah.
I had to, because what was happening now is I would be away Saturday and then I'll be away Sunday. And it's criminal for you to have children and fail to deposit within them that mental picture of who you are. For me, that's my definition for them. And what?
No, but that's a very important point. And I know you only can say it's for you, but we're all human and we're pack animals. It is a standard, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it is a standard.
I was willing to
forego that.
To forego that for their purpose and for their benefit.
Any regret?
No.
You've met parents who said, "I've given so much for you, sacrificial things that I've done for you." You've met parents who've said that.
Yeah.
I've given that sort of thing.
Well, sacrifice this for you.
Yes, you've heard that. Yeah, I could have been this. I could have been that.
So what? That's your job.
That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the purpose of a parent? I think let's start it there, because now what I want us to do is to break that apart.
I walked right into that one, didn't I?
No, my guy, I'm very good at my job. Somebody said to me, "Yancy, you're very good with your words."
What is the purpose of a parent?
Yes, because the way you've just defined that, it just gives me like a reason to say, is there a clear-cut definition? Because you can father or you can mother a child, but do you know what your purpose is when that has happened?
You know, it's a multifaceted question.
No way.
Yes, it is.
No way. Straight.
What is your purpose as a parent?
Yes.
Your purpose as a parent, you see, when you begin to use the word parent, you're not looking at it holistically. It's not just to feed or to house.
But those are actually quite big, actually.
But it's not just.
Yeah.
No, that's mandatory.
Yeah.
To feed the offspring.
Yeah.
To provide shelter.
Yeah.
To educate it.
Yes.
No, that's mandatory.
It's not even questionable.
No, you can't.
So, is it also your purpose to take a back seat? Because I'm using what you've just said to say that I'm going to be, I
thought you said we're going to go back to how we were doing these podcasts from the beginning. This is
how we're doing
deeper.
it. I remember how we're doing it. I would throw questions at you and you try and rebut them all the time. So I'm showing you my viewpoint.
All the time. Chris,
there was never cohesion was only on a few things. There was cohesion on a couple of things. But most of the times you're just argumentative. So
are you really want to go into 100%. Go there? You want to go there? 100%. You want to take it there?
So the parent.
It's all right.
So
okay. No, it's cool. That's where you want to go. Okay.
Like the way you just said it, because I think you've listed the mandatory sort of stuff, but you've gone and said that there was a life before you had the kids. You had things that were you
that define me.
Yes. Like remember when I met you. Incredible skill set. I mean, you could have made it.
The skills are still there, boss. They're still there.
No. You drive like an incredible rally driver, but that's just it. That's where your feet are dancing now on the pedals and stuff.
Okay,
no, that's where they're moving now.
Chris, it's cool. No, I'll let you.
I feel that because I'm going to break it down and I'm going to go to each stage. You know, there's things like career, there's relationships and everything else. I'm not defining what sort of purposes are there because I've been asked a couple of times where I'm actually confused where you got young people who tell me, no, I think this is my purpose and this is what I'm supposed to be doing in life. And how do you define that and where do you get that? And why is that explicitly, is it one? Because somebody said to me that there can be more than just one purpose that we have. And also, I want to see if we can define what purposes would be in certain places. You were sleeping this week.
Oh, me?
Yeah. Usually, this dude comes back with like a whole research thing happening.
No.
Today, he's like, whoa.
No, I wasn't sleeping because you're bringing something in, and I'm very aware of you bringing stuff through the back door. So, I'm very quiet. I'm very quiet these days. I need to figure out exactly where you're going, where you're taking it.
Oh, I always bring it straight forward.
No, through the back door. Like what you did with me on management. That was backdoor stuff.
There was no backdoor stuff. You came back
first,
very well.
Yeah, because I came geared, but you came through the back door.
And you're only lucky that I was managed. That's why you came back.
Bruh,
the next
day. You were schooled. Shucks. I will never forget that one. I was listening to the recording during the week. I was like, yo, Chris was young.
You know, I never got that recording.
You know, it's good.
Yeah, I only got 20 minutes of it.
You know, it's good that you never got it because
there was purpose in that, wasn't
there? Yeah, because you'd be weeping. Anyway, yes, you're saying.
So is that purpose? Do parents then have to give back what's important to them purely because now they're parents? And your definition as an individual is now taken out of it?
Not really. Not really.
I'm using you as a benchmark here.
Yeah, not really.
And that's it? No way. No way. Every parent has come back and told me, I could have been this, I could have done that. I had to do this. Haven't you ever heard women even say that?
Do you know when people say that?
Yeah.
That I could have?
Yeah.
I could have?
Yeah.
You have an element of regret of the decision you made in order to attain what you have.
You know what I call those people? Cowards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't regret that. I could have. So what? So because you're saying I could have, you failed to pay attention to what was in front of you that you could make better? Come on, that's nonsense.
Why did you have unprotected sex? That's my line. Why the hell did you have unprotected sex?
I just don't understand. I could have. So what? Shoulda, coulda, woulda. You know what I mean? Deal with what's there right now. You see, for me, when I call them twins, although they are not 2 years apart, they just behave the same. You know, because they were always together. And what would happen is, before I hung the proverbial boots, the whole dancing stuff and choreography stuff, I would go with them.
So they'll see you perform.
They'll see me.
And they grew to love that.
Yeah, they'd see me.
It's quite magical.
Choreograph. They'll see me teach. That's when they had an appreciation of music.
Okay.
The different genres of music.
Yeah.
My children are very eclectic when it comes to music.
He's a father just showing off right now.
No, I'm just I'm just telling you like it is. They're very eclectic, although they've got the genre that they like, but they understand and they appreciate.
Yeah.
And we appreciate dances, regardless whether it was Michael, Janet, Paula, Abdul. That's how old I am.
She's still alive?
You know, she still is. The local guys, you know, your Rockies, even the late Oliver.
He had routines.
Yeah, Ladysmith, Black Mambazo.
Yes.
You know, because whenever, you know what I mean? Because when out choreograph, I'll bring in all those. You know, Chris Brown, Asha.
Why don't you make a career out of this?
You know how difficult it was years ago for anything outside of an appeared norm for them to accept.
So true.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. Even our producer, what he's doing right now, nobody used to appreciate that.
Nobody would. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's only now when you have the likes of shout out to J. Cole. He's
made a profession and a career out of it.
You know, shout out to him.
Yeah.
He's had to push, but he fought to be recognized in that way.
Many battles, yeah.
Yeah, he fought to be. When we were doing it, it was I don't know time about.
Yeah, it's a weekend thing.
Yeah, it's a weekend thing, but it was paying the bills.
It's a graft. Yeah, you blow out your knees.
Bills, it was paying the fees.
Yes.
It was
giving you
putting
extra.
food on the table.
Yeah.
It was putting fuel in the car.
Yeah.
There were times when just my 9 to 5 wasn't bringing in the sheets.
Yeah.
That was pushing us quite a bit as a family.
Yeah.
You know, but it wasn't recognized. It was only the perceived elite that would appreciate it. But now everybody is understanding it.
Now they do.
This is really the thing. So I'd go with my kids. And my daughter will be standing there watching. My son will be also doing the thing. My son isn't gifted.
2 left feet?
Yeah. But my daughter, she's like copy and paste.
Yeah.
Of
I was told that anybody can learn to dance.
Anybody can learn to dance. It just depends on the degree at which they're willing to submit to being taught.
Yes, I agree to that.
Yeah. Anybody. So the certain clients, but my husband can't. No. It's not that he can't.
Yeah.
I just need to meet him for maybe 30 minutes and learn him to understand what language I need or how I need to present the routine to him so that he can grasp it.
You could be minting it right now, though.
You know? But I'm not going to say I could have, should have. I can't. because the time that I would spend with my children at that specific moment, that was priceless.
Yeah.
You can't. No money can be placed against that. Nothing. And got to the point where I'll be teaching something, and then all these adults will be like, "Oh, this is too difficult." And my daughter was 4 at the time. I'd call her, "Come here.
If she can pick it up,
do this," and my daughter just do it like that. It's simple, and it would
ignite something.
Ignite some sort of, oh my gosh, if a 4-year-old can do it,
I can't be embarrassed.
Exactly. And it worked out very well, and got to the point where I'd go with them. So what my son would do, he would do the mixing. I'll tell him, "Can you rewind to this place?" And everyone would be like, "You work well."
Oh, you're such a lovely dad.
It was. That's what I'm saying. When somebody says, "Had I not had these children, or had I not had this," no child is a mistake.
Yeah.
Regardless of how the child came about.
Yeah,
no child is. What you then need to do is get to a point of being able to have your own identity with them. Because it's when you have an identity, you can then create an environment to have a definition. That definition precedes the purpose.
Yeah, but
that's what I'm saying, Gudichi. Purpose is multifaceted in terms of the things that need to be done, but it's singular in terms of how you are evolving. We discussed this a long time ago, where everybody needs to be a better version of themselves.
Yes.
That is your ideal. That's your finality. You like saying that. Becoming a better version of yourself.
Yes.
Every day you want to end better version of yourself.
Yes.
That's the main intention.
So you found your purpose?
Yes, I have.
What's your purpose?
My purpose? Get rich or die trying.
You and 4 million other Zimbabweans.
No, okay. So I had to take a sip of something. My purpose. It's a bit too. It's like a 5-minute speech.
We got 2 hours.
Everybody, what did I say? I think I said it. I think one of the first podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
When was that youngster? What's his name? That dude there.
Yes, the sound guy.
And he was having, I think, child number 1, child number 2, or they were expecting child number 2.
He's got lovely pictures today. On his status. Lovely couple. Yeah, and he was humbling himself. That I've been with you for, I don't know how many years, 6, 7, 8 years. Why would you stick with someone like me? Humbling himself.
Yeah, there are 2 trains of thought there. He's really genuine, sincere, or he just screwed up.
He's apologizing. That is a lesson today. I'm fed up with you ladies who try to throw this momentous presence. In fact, 90% of the presence that you see on Facebook with all these big expressions of love and to show everybody that sort of stuff, it's an apology.
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's an apology.
5% of the time is genuine.
Yeah, 5% of the time is genuine.
95%.
You don't have to do that. She will celebrate you in the right sort of way.
Yeah.
But if you come up and say, "Yes, I've gone and bought this brand new," what's that Land Rover stuff? They got really nice names now. Vala, whatever.
Yeah, for all the technological advancements that company has made, that brand doesn't move me.
Have you driven one?
Yeah.
Like for a month?
Not a month, but I've driven enough to realize, okay, it's got a nice seating position, but it doesn't move me. It doesn't move me. Like if I hold an iPhone 13, it doesn't move me.
Okay. Well, you're just weird, okay?
It doesn't move me. But put me in a 1995 Mercedes 600 SEL.
Or even a 1961.
Yeah!
What about the gull wings?
Dude, the 300 SL.
And it's classic. We're talking about over almost like 100 years and stuff. And it really is a classic.
You see, but this stuff doesn't move me.
I know. I actually like the Defender sort of stuff.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I think it's a bit more purposeful in what it's supposed to be.
But anyway, digress.
Yeah, but the moral of that story was that all that celebratory stuff is an apology. That's a tip you need to learn. That's one for you today. We'll be dropping tips as we go along.
Yeah. So anyway, we're talking about this guy, and I think at the time either they were expecting or just had a child or something funny like that.
Yes.
And then I said to him, every parent, regardless of the situation, has. In Shona they say kushuira, vanushuira something. They have not an expectation. That's the wrong word. They have a desire of something to be fulfilled in the child's life.
Yes.
And that's a good way of explaining kushuira.
Yes.
Everybody has that. And somewhere along the line, they never express it to the child.
Should they?
They need to, because
there's power in names, eh?
there's power in expressing something. That's why that's why we had that thing about, do people communicate? Because if you don't communicate, you don't express. Or if you're not paying attention, that means whatever somebody's expressing, you're not listening to.
Yeah.
And then you have issues. But anyway, that's another topic altogether. And then you have those issues. Companies have what? Company statements, mandates.
Yes. Vision, mission statements.
Yeah. Christians like calling it a prophetic unction. Proclaiming a blessing.
Okay. Are we going down that slippery slope?
No, I'm just trying to throw it in all aspects that people know, because not you want to cover all the bases.
Background to that, why he's off is where we're recording. There's this huge warehouses that are around, and progressively over this COVID period, we have seen
conditions.
The numbers have started increasing again, and we're saying to ourselves that some of these little prophets out there, and I'm sorry if I offend you, but the truth is,
why apologize?
Yeah, he said I should never apologize anymore.
1 + 1 is 2. You want to say I'm sorry for those that are listening? It's true.
But those are the emotional ones, right? So this, all of a sudden, we've seen this increase of numbers coming through. No masks, no taking care of COVID provisions whatsoever. And we realized that because these guys were now going broke, if they don't get that tithing coming through, then it's going to happen. So they've called their flock back. And it's double.
Flock is dumb enough to go back.
Well, that is sheep who always follow, won't they? Anyway, go on.
The problem is so many people assume they're sheep when in fact they're actually shepherds in their own right. You see, those are the things.
They can't see that, though.
They can't. That's when I have issues. You're talking about purpose. I'm talking about definition as well. Some people want to live perpetually being told what to do, perpetually within themselves.
But why?
Because we've been kept in the loop. Remember, I spoke about this about 4 or 5 podcasts ago, saying society generally wants to keep us in a loop.
You hate society.
In order to
it's
satisfy.
Like your matrix.
Yeah, in order to satisfy an agenda. Keep them busy.
So what's okay? So that's the agenda.
Yeah, keep them busy so they don't think. Keep them looking down. Why are you looking down? To look for money to buy bread.
This is proper Animal Farm stuff you're talking about.
To look down, to keep them thinking about, hey, I need to find bread. Not to look up to say, hey, I can go and buy the farm to make to grow the wheat.
But I'll throw back to you that not all of us can do that. We do need people to follow through. We do need
workers, yes. But even within the worker,
you want them to be more purposeful in what they're doing.
Exactly.
So let's define
because
that.
Because being purposeful means you've got an intention.
So purpose is intent.
Purpose is intent. To fulfill an intent.
Okay. So as a parent,
I have the dictionary next to me.
So as a parent, what's your purpose?
Bruh, you want me to go there?
We spoke a couple of podcasts ago when you asked me that what should a parent be doing, and I said mine is not to define anything for them, but purely to give them the tools and the environment for them to be the best that they can be.
Purpose, something set up as an object or end to be attained, an intention.
Sounds
a
like
subject
a goal.
Under discussion or an action in course of execution.
I think I like the last part.
We're done.
An action in course of execution.
Yeah. So remember we spoke about how everybody wants to be a better version of themselves.
Yes.
Yeah. And I had this discussion with my children once. I said, you're going to school, learning mathematics, because of their different desires of what they want to achieve in their lives. I said the quadratic equation is going to be meaningless. It's going to be meaningless.
I'm sorry, maths teachers.
It's going to be meaningless. Trigonometry, it's going to be meaningless.
Only scientists.
You know what I mean? But the way they want to go, they can't. It's not going. They're not going to meet up with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Napoleon Bonaparte.
Yes.
Everything I learned about him is meaningless to me right now in my skill.
Okay.
My skill set.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. But things like physics and chemicals and metallurgy, that's working for me now.
Yeah.
Technical drawing, that's working for me now.
I'm going to throw you back on the Napoleon part, though.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm saying for Napoleon, for me.
Because I see a lot of stuff that he did in you.
What did he do to me?
So you're very well read.
Oh, blame that on my dad.
No, I'm not blaming it on your dad. Your dad gave you an opportunity. You ran with it.
My dad was a history guy.
You could have said no.
No, he would just bring it up in
Two things happen with kids. Either you adopt or you rebel against it. That's what kids do.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, what I was saying.
You had a purpose.
One what I said to my children was, you know what? Going to school, you may not necessarily have to get everything.
Yeah.
But what it is doing, it is teaching you the language in which to understand the future.
100%.
That's all it's about.
Yeah.
So my purpose as a parent for them is to expose them to situations where they can learn a language.
Yeah.
The language of social gatherings,
Yeah.
the language of mathematics.
Yeah.
You know, I would advise, to the best of your ability, every parent must just take the child out of the country.
For exposure.
For exposure's sake.
Because not all of us can afford that though.
Yeah, or out of your immediate environment.
That I can understand.
Yeah, out of your immediate environment. Get them out of, if they're in Borodale, get them out of Borodale. Take a drive to Chitungis.
That's important.
Take a drive to Epworth.
Yeah.
Take a drive to Norton. Take a drive to Warren Park.
Yeah.
But some of these arty-farty kids have no clue. And we're not saying that...
And they're crippled. No, don't be apologetic. They're crippled.
I'm not saying they shouldn't go there in order to lord it upon themselves that, we're better off. No, it's just for them to say, hey, can you check that out?
And whose definition is there to say it's better off? What are you using as a
That's
measure?
what I'm saying.
Yeah, they don't have the right measure.
They don't have the right measure. But for them to understand that, you know, this is where we stay. This is how we live. This is what happens there. And this is what happens here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If you stay in Epworth, take a drive to Borodale.
Yeah.
Expose a child to this is what
many
this is what
things
roads
out
are
there.
like.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what the houses are like.
Yeah.
I was laughing about 2-3 weeks ago. I was with a friend and we took a drive out and we went to Cheetown. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, Chitunguzas, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But the thought that I raised was there's some children that will be born in this hood, grow up in this hood, get married, die in this hood without having left the hood. Because I'm to put it in perspective for those that have no idea what Chitunguzas is like. Chitunguzas is like just like a mini community on its own. There's really no need to get into the central business district.
No.
There's no need at all because everything is there.
Comes there.
Yeah, everything is there. There's no need.
We can actually block off the road and they'll be okay.
They'll be okay. Yeah. That's how it is. But it's important to expose. And as a parent, you need to do that. I used to remember growing up, my mates at the time, most of our government schools, actually not most, all of the government schools were mixed race.
They were very good.
You know, white, black, Indian,
very,
Chinese,
very
the works.
Yeah.
You know, it was just fantastic. There was no need for private education.
Mm-hmm.
It was fantastic. And it was one of those, you go on holiday, you come back, and you're talking to your mates that are a bit more well off, which were predominantly the Caucasians. I'm like, went to Durban and just went to the beach. And you were like, what?
Exactly. You actually got what we call a passport?
You know, I was like, what? Where did you go? Nowhere at home. You don't say went to the Royals.
No, Royals, yeah.
No, you don't know at home. And I'm not saying that my dad did us wrong. No.
No.
We did eventually start traveling later when things were easier for us to travel. But at that time, you could understand their language, how they would relate to certain topics within class. Within a lesson was totally different to how I would relate with it. And
they actually saw the fish that you talk about in biology and stuff.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just crazy. And I had the opportunity 4 or 5 years back. My siblings and I decided to be funny and have a combined holiday. And I'm the only one in the country. So I knew already before we do anything, I'm already, the passport's insane.
You're stressing.
Guy, and then one Saturday I just woke up and that's when the passport office was open on a Saturday. I said, hey, let's just go. And he's like, where are we going? Just go. We just got and then we drove to the passport office. And everybody's like, just did the whole thing, photos, the works. And I paid. Okay. They said, I'll come after 3 months. Cool. And it was one of those, okay, what just happened? I said, we'll see. The passports came out. We did that in April. August, we're driving down. We're meeting in Joburg.
And your kids had never been out?
No. So we drove. So they were just so excited. You know, when you cross the... and the funny thing with that trip, I won't forget that trip. I wanted something diesel. So I went to my dad and said, Dad, I need diesel. I need your truck. He goes, I'm not a problem. And my mom took the car about 2 weeks prior to go and see her mom. But my mom drives an automatic, but she took my dad's diesel manual, so her left foot had nowhere to rest except on the clutch pedal. So she rode the clutch, so she blew out the clutch. And there's me, oh snap! And what I had done is I wanted to upgrade my car.
Okay,
that's when I sold the Toyota.
Yeah,
and I was getting them the Merc, and so I didn't have a car at the time. My dad goes, "Oh no, take the other one." So we cleared the other one. I drove the other one, and we crossed the border. And it was so hot at the border. My daughter's standing there. My daughter reacts to heat. She just decides to collapse. Yeah, on the south side, she collapses because of heat.
Shame.
Just threw water on the chick again and said, "Your first experience with crossing the border, and you just
pass out."
You know what I mean? And then we drove, and there's a tunnel.
And I remember when I went through that for the first time.
Bruh!
Yeah.
For me,
there's something that goes through a mountain.
You know, and they were like, and I was like, this is why I wanted to come with you guys. We drove, we met my siblings in Joburg. We were there for like 2 days, and we're going to the Drakensberg Mountains.
Ooh.
Bruh.
Yeah, those are beautiful.
So we did convoy. My sister, my brother-in-law, and myself. 3-car convoy.
That's beautiful.
And they had a whale of a time. It's just, oh my gosh. Then we get to the place, we're there for like a week. And then my older sister goes, what if we do Durban?
Say again?
What if we do Durban? I said, okay. That's about maybe 2-3 hour drive from here. That's fine. Okay. Convoy.
That's nice.
Durban.
So the mountains to the sea.
My kids were like, oh my gosh.
I've only read about this in
you know what
books.
I mean? And we drive down, we go to the beach, we spend the whole afternoon there. My kids were just all over the joint. They were like, and then the thing is, my older sister, her kids, I mean, they're in SA, they do that as often as they can. Yeah. My younger sister's in the UK, so it's nothing really out of sync for them.
Yeah.
But for my kids, like, snap.
Yeah.
Oh, they had a whale of a time. We were there until they got tired. They were like, no, Dad, we're good. We drove back, spent the night, drove back to Joburg for another week or so. Came back. You could tell just in discourse when they were with their friends, they didn't mention the whole going to
the beach,
Joburg, to Drakensberg, to Durban and back, but the articulation of the experience of the fun and the joy, even the participation in class, even when you in reference of oceans and beaches and just the dynamics of society, they picked it up. And so for me, I was like, it wasn't about the money or showing off that we went on holiday.
No,
it was the exposure that they had.
Yeah.
And as a parent, bruh, you need to pull that mission.
Yeah, I think it's imperative.
So it's not a matter of if these kids hadn't been around, I would have been able to make a plan. I could have done this. Yeah, but with what you have now,
what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Because purpose doesn't change. It's the avenues in which you can expose your purpose as an individual to that place.
Don't parents then stop some of this stuff because they're afraid themselves?
You said it yourself. Afraid of what? Of failing. Failure is not a problem.
People are afraid of failing.
Yeah, no, failure is not a
Big
problem.
Time.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Failure is never the issue. The issue is the inability to get up.
Because you're not a tree.
People just need to understand that you will fall. You are allowed to fall.
They don't understand that.
You're allowed to grate those gears, my guy, when you're learning how to drive. You're allowed to. It doesn't make you a dimwit.
This is the thing. I'm fed up with people telling me things like, it's almost like it must be perfect. Everything must be perfect. There is no stumbling block, whatever it might be.
Bro, there was only one that was perfect. Look what happened, he hung on the cross. But you know what I mean? But there's only
he was
one
betrayed by his people, bro.
By his own, you
by his own people. I've come here and I'm the son of man. Yay! I can heal, I can feed, I'm very, yay! Hey, I'll give you 5 crowns of gold. You can betray him, no problem.
That was it, you know.
Hey, is this your friend? No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. 3 times.
I tell you, it's you know, we laugh, but it's the real thing. His own fellows.
He had a purpose, and all these guys had a purpose as well.
Now, I spoke once about being a maverick. So people are afraid to be maverick. Now, being a maverick doesn't mean you're going to automatically become an entrepreneur. It doesn't. It just means you're going to do things in order to realize a set intention.
Yeah.
Yeah. So many people don't want to fall out of being perceived as being the in crowd.
Yeah.
And being within things. So purpose.
Because for a parent, I think you've described it perfectly. To give them that sort of exposure to get where they're supposed to be.
Because they need to be the best version of themselves.
Exactly.
That's it. It's no longer about you.
No, it's not. Once you cross that and you have unprotected sex, that's what it means.
But here's the story now. When you begin to work hard to make them the best version of themselves, what you're doing is you're opening. You have no idea, and I like using this word that people love using. There's so many energies that are around. When you begin to focus your energies on making them better individuals, you're always giving out.
So
and
who
the more you
replenishes
give out,
yeah.
The more you give out, the more you are emptying your hands.
Yeah,
the more
you're
you're
running
emptying
empty.
your hands,
Yeah.
they're already free to grab other things. So the more you do for somebody below you, perceived below you, the more energy is feeding you in order to feed them. So the more they develop, the greater you understand to get to the next level, to take them to the next level. Because they'll only learn through your experience, but your experience has got to be greater so they know the step in which to take that you are leaving to go yourself to the next step. Because if you're pulling somebody up a ladder, you need to go one rung up to pull them one rung up.
Until you get to a point where you can't, though.
No, it's not to a point where you can't.
I like the way you brought it because
it's not a matter of where you can't, but when you get to the plateau, there's a point where you your roads diverge. That's the word, yeah? Yeah. They go one way, you go another, but they are going in their way, knowing that you've built into the best version that they can.
You know, I got a good example of that.
Yeah.
Actually, two. I think one of your favorite artists, Michael Jackson. He was in a group. Father pushed him. They got to a plateau where he had to break off and do his own thing. Another one is one of my favorite, Lewis Hamilton. His dad was his manager from the word get-go. And manager is a very big role. And he pushed until he got to a certain point where Lewis fired his own dad as a manager. He said, no, I need to take my project this way and go that way. I think he had won championship or something like that. I actually like that. I think that's a very good analogy. Some parents don't know when to let go. And I'm saying this because a lot of us, and we're black for those who don't know, we've got what they call...
so we speak the vernac because nothing else to do?
Yeah, no, we speak very well. Black tax. You've heard of that, haven't you? Yeah. Black tax. Yeah. And it's actually quite bad because, and I'll give my own example. I think I'm a perfect example of that. When I was 19, straight out of school, had an opportunity to go to university, and I was dead set that I wasn't going to do that. I said, I want to work. I wanted to work purely because we had a lot of siblings, and I could see my dad was struggling. And I wasn't the firstborn. I think most people come up and say that, you act like we're the firstborn, but I wasn't. But I saw a need to uplift our family.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah, because I'd seen a lot of stuff, and I was like, no, I want our family to be uplifted somehow. So let me contribute. You don't have to take me to university. I remember my stepmom was like, no, you can go and you can do this. And like, nah, that's not what I want to do. So I started looking for a job, especially even on the holidays and stuff. I mean, these are after A-levels. And I wasn't bad. I was a pretty smart kid. But I couldn't find one that I liked. Most of them were pretty useless until I stumbled upon this ad. And Providence, I got the job. I wasn't the best. I know because on my application letter, I found it because I was an assistant account executive to this wonderful account executive. These are people who work in advertising agencies. And I found it one day when I was filing for her. Not the best, but very curious in how he replied. So my application letter was, I took their advert. They just said, we're looking for blah, blah, blah. If you can do this, then you're the person we're looking for. So I just went around and said, if you are looking for this, then I'm the person for you. That was my reply to my application letter. So it wasn't the norm. Remember how you used to be taught you need to write this? I just wrote it like that. So I even met the chairman and everyone else. Was pretty cool. And that started my whole career in advertising and marketing. So I started working. And I had a very good job. And I could help my dad with the siblings and everything else. It was in me to do that. Then my dad had retired early. You know that you stay like 10 years before?
Yeah.
So he retired early. Got a huge windfall because he used to work for a bank. Obviously, proverbially, took the missus big forwards, excited, whatever it was at that time. Fixed up the house. And then he said, what do I do to continue? So he had a couple ideas. And before Norton was big, he went and put up a little supply thing for building equipment, hardware, and everything else. Then he fell sick. So I'm minding my own business. I'm noticing that this guy has been sick for about 2 or 3 weeks. It was ransacked, and he put money in his stock, and all the stock was stolen. So it was a stillbirth. And then all of a sudden, this man I revered, this man who's like, he was taller than I was. Yeah, I wasn't as tall as I am now. But he represented manhood. I mean, this guy, like we always say, it was one generation away from the rural areas. He came from the rural areas to work in a bank. So JP, those are the initials we used for him, my dad, came to me one day. Remember, I'm 18, 19 years old. He came to me one day and says, I need to have a talk with you. I'm going to need your help to keep the family going. So you can imagine that you're starting out your career and no girlfriend then. I'm just waiting to Christmas, I'm going to get a bonus. I'm going to buy suicide jeans. Remember those suicide jeans?
Yeah.
I'm going to buy suicide jeans. I'm going to buy this. I was waiting to do all of that stuff, to be me.
Yeah.
And then this huge announcement comes. And I just said, okay, no hesitation whatsoever. I just said, okay, we're going to do this. Okay. So I started working hard. So what I did is then I would start having private jobs that I would do. And those would supplement. 19 years old, 18, 19. The one thing that my stepmom told me to do is that you need to open an account at Edgar's. Of course, I did that. Bought the clothes. Everybody had Edgar's clothes back then. But they were running a competition back then, which was you could win. So my name was put into a hat. My name was drawn out. I won $100,000 in 1996. So in context, $100,000 then could have bought me a mid-sized house in probably Brayside, Cranbourne, flat out. I could have just bought it out and I would have had some change. So about 90, thereabouts. Our dollar was still good. Guess what I did? I stood there and I thought, and I said, okay, I'm going to put 50 in Old Mutual so that it gives me a payout as I'm going. I took the other 50, cleared out all my dad's debts, and I started putting everybody through school. Everybody. So even though I had some siblings above me who were not doing so well, I took care of them. I had siblings below me, which were 5 of them. I took them from primary school all the way to university. Guess what I bought for myself? 1 stereo. Because I was a kid. 1 stereo. And it was loud. It was loud. 1 stereo. And I bought a computer. And from there, lunchtime, I'll teach myself how to design. That's where all my creativity comes. And I was actually quite creative before. I just didn't know it. But providence. And I took the family. I formed a company on the side, started making a bit of money, and would pay bills as we go along. My dad's health deteriorated. He was now an old guy. So we carried through, all of them up to university. I bought them all their first shoes, my sister's interview clothes when she went to get a job as a PA to the airport manager, all of that jazz. Took it through Spaces. Remember when Spaces was pretty cool?
Hey, Spaces was the joint.
I took it through all of that stuff with my brother. So obviously a company needed to have 2 directors. I had it with my brother. And I would design. Remember the Maze?
The Maze.
The club.
Yeah.
That logo?
Yeah.
That was my first job.
Wow.
Yeah. That was my first job. I did it at 12 a.m. in the morning. And I just had learned these new skills. And I just blew it apart, twisted it, and I turned it around. Remember, there was like 3D sort of thing.
Yeah.
That was my first job. And I remember when they say to me, how much can we pay you? There was only one number that I'd ever been given consistently, which was my paycheck. And back then it was 2,500. And so I said, 2,500. Boom, they wrote me a check. I took that away and I ran with it. The Maze. That was my artwork. And then I was like 19 years old. So I took that and I ran with it. The story I'm trying to tell here is that I sacrificed. I didn't get that house in Cranbourne and everything else because I believed in what my dad has said, that we need to put the family and make it work. And it's stored for me. Now, I'm an entrepreneur. I've had ups and downs, like dead cheap broke, you know what I mean? To have nothing at all, to having fabulous clients who can fly around the world and everything. So it's been up and down. I had a conversation with one of my siblings, and I think it was the awakening when I turned 40. And I said, I've never wanted anything from all of you guys, but just a recognition of some of the things that we did. And they all came back with different versions of that, of what happened when I turned 18, 19, and I took that money and I said, I want to make sure the family doesn't die. whatsoever. I'm going to pay the bills. I'm going to feed the family. We're going to make this happen whatsoever. And many people have got different versions of that. One of them was, I got a line back, says, I don't owe you anything. You made a decision to do that. That was your call. I didn't ask you to do it. I didn't ask you to take care of me until I got to university. I didn't ask you to do that. So I owe you nothing. So I think the connotation there was, it was money that was owed. But I didn't want your money. I make my own money. I've been gifted by God to have that skill that I can make money on the fly. I just want you to recognize it. There was something that had to happen. Otherwise, boy, you wouldn't be here. I could have been selfish and say, I'm flying out with this money. I'm going to start a new life in America somewhere. It was enough for me to do that. But it was something that we had to do because we had to make that happen and to put everybody together. You know who recognized me? It's the funniest part. You know who recognized all of that I did?
Oh.
My stepmom. My stepmom is not really liked by everybody, actually. I'll be very fair on that. But my stepmom. I heard it from an auntie one day. She says, I've been dying to meet you. And I said, meet me? Yeah, one of her relatives from her side. Meet me. She goes, yeah, crazy. You know,
it says everything. Huh?
Hey, crazy. She categorically said, if you hadn't been around, it would have been a disaster for us. It would have been a total disaster for us, totally. And that was enough. I say that because I sat down one day and I said, what was my purpose? And you said it in the beginning where you said the purpose changes, varying. I think it does. At a particular stage of your life, there's a different reason or purpose that you're actually going through what you're going through, or what you're actually going to be doing at that particular point.
Okay.
You said fatherhood.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I don't want to cut you short because it was quite a touching story. This is, Hollywood kind of stuff, man.
Yeah, and the voice was just the same.
Yeah, it's just Hollywood cool stuff.
Morgan Freeman kind of.
I think those that have that disposition tissues out and all. Oh,
I got a GoFund if you want to fund me.
I hear what you're saying. I started off with saying, every time a child is born, there's something that you would like for that child. You have thoughts of, I won't say elevation, but you want the best for that child.
Yeah.
And when parents say it, Christians use dedication.
Yes.
The word dedication.
Yes.
They're dedicating a child. It's different to baptism. They're dedicating a child. It's you're pronouncing. Christians say you're pronouncing a blessing.
Yes.
The people that I have met that allow me in their space when they have children, I always say to them, what is it that you would like for this child? And it's not a monetary issue. It's not an intellectual issue, but what is it that you want for this child?
Really? They don't put money into it?
No, I always tell them not to.
Oh, not to put that. Okay.
Yeah, no, don't. I want them to be the richest person.
Okay.
No, that's
nonsense.
But what is it that you would love over this child? I'm trying to say it without sounding too Christianese.
The more you run away from it, the more you run towards it.
Exactly. What blessing do you want over the child? And then they would realize that, oh snap, I said, because it goes beyond the money, it goes beyond the assets, it goes beyond the career.
Yeah.
It is what defines the individual.
Yes.
And if you want to go not deep, but if you want to go further on the Christian tip, I always say, because the pinnacle of Christianity for most people is the understanding of Jesus Christ.
Be Christ-like, yeah.
Yeah. Before he was born, there were a lot of scriptures in the Old Testament that referred to him.
Yes.
And I say to parents, have something that refers to your child the moment your child is born. For my kids, I have that for my children. Each child has a verse in the Bible specific for. There's one specific for my son, one specific for my daughter.
Parenting tip 2.
It's specific, and I got them to memorize it to the point when they were in primary school. Every morning before we left the house, I'd tell them recite it.
Oh.
And what
my Halloween stuff ain't nothing like that.
And it got to the point where whenever they recited it, every time they would recite it that week, something would happen in their lives that had a bearing, or that was an offshoot from them reciting that. There'll be certain things that would just fall into their immediate space that would allow them to showcase that specific item.
Wow,
Within,
okay.
I noticed that it's not arty-farty or I heard it from someone else. I would see it.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm like, oh snap! It's because of that.
Yeah.
And I think I mentioned it in the pod. Was it last week or the week before when I said I really don't care what my daughter becomes in terms of her career, or my son, because nobody will remember that, but people will remember who he was or who she was as an individual, because legends are not about what they did but who they were.
Yeah.
And that is the purpose.
That's your purpose.
No, that is their purpose.
You seem to have defined it for them, though.
And that's because I felt within myself.
Yeah.
Let me use Christianese. I felt within myself, but this applies to this boy.
Oh, okay.
And this applies because there are millions of scriptures in the Bible.
Yeah.
But this particular, it applies.
Felt
to
right
him.
for that.
And everywhere my son goes, and everywhere my daughter goes, even if I'm not there,
Yeah.
I can hear feedback of how they excelled, or how they stood apart, because of that particular setup.
Uh-huh.
Without me being there, I didn't need to tell them you must do this. No, it's just that's how they're wired.
Yes.
Because of that. That's the purpose. Your purpose. That's for you to define, because you have to define it yourself. It will come. Don't worry. I'll explain to you later. But this is not a biblical podcast. But
you're the one who makes it biblical, though.
Because there's certain things that I have noticed.
It's in you.
No, it's not. There's certain things
I don't know
that
why
I've
you
noticed.
Producer, is he not more Christian than both of you and me put together?
No, man. You guys want to go there?
See?
You want to go.
Doesn't he sound like a pastor right now? Doesn't he sound like a pastor right now?
You want to go there?
He sounds like an American pastor.
So everybody has that. There's a backdrop. There's yardstick protocol. It's there. It's just how you define. And when you live it, you begin to attract stuff that's there. There's always that one. You notice at a family function, there's always that one uncle.
That's what.
That makes things happen.
Yes.
There's always that one uncle.
In every family.
There's always that one uncle.
It's not even a function, but in the family.
There's the one uncle or one relative that makes things happen.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to be seen, but is the one behind the scenes.
Yes.
There's always the one that is always holding the mic.
But does nothing.
Does nothing. There's always the one that's just cracking everybody up to make everybody feel at ease.
Yeah.
There's always that one when there's a funeral that makes everybody forget that they had a funeral.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's always that one.
Yeah.
And then when you then begin to ask your grandparents what they say, no, from when he was a child, it was always like that.
Is that their purpose?
Holistically?
Remember what I'm saying, that purposes are different in every different situation.
No. That's what I'm trying to crush.
Yeah. Crush.
Yeah.
By telling me holistically.
Yeah, holistically.
A Zimbabwean government statement. Holistically.
Yeah.
They use that more than anything.
Holistically, there are no power cuts. Holistically, that's their purpose. Now, in terms of function, in order to get to a place where they can day to day work, whatever you use, work is just a skill set. But your character, that's where your purpose is.
Your character is where your purpose is.
Yeah, your character is where your purpose is.
Okay.
You'll find the clown at family functions, the one that's doing things behind the scenes.
His purpose is...
Yeah, when he's at work, it's copy and paste. It's just at a different environment. But it's copy and paste.
Okay. Your character is your purpose. That's what you said, right?
Your character is always seen in your purpose.
Okay.
Yeah, always. The guy who's always behind the scenes but gets things done at work, he's one of those COOs. Very quiet. Get things done. Or he doesn't even want to be a COO. It's fine. Just make me an O. But he gets the job done.
Okay. Wait, before you go, because you did this to me. So when you meet people, you know that line that some people are there for a reason, for a season. What's the other one?
Did I say that?
No, you know that common line.
No, I don't.
No, you do.
No, I don't.
This is something that should come from you. Producer, what is that line? People are either there for a season or a reason, right? Is it just those two? I don't know, but I remember because somebody brought that up recently. They said people are there for a reason or a season. You understand? I know it sounds very poetic, but
Yeah, coming from you. You're stuttering because it's not usually coming from you. But anyway, yeah, go for it.
yeah, no, I love the way that you know where you are now. But I mention it because just to say what you say, that someone's character, wherever they are, you see the purpose. So at work, they'll be in a certain way. In relationships,
they're the same.
a certain way. So if I follow what you're saying, is that clown at the funeral, yeah, can be a clown at the company office, yeah. And then wait, let me finish. I haven't even asked you the question yet. I haven't asked you the question yet.
Okay, the clown at the funeral is the clown at work. No, and I'm
want to follow. That's what you were saying.
No, I'm finishing off your statements.
That's what you said, right?
Keep going.
That's what you said.
I need to.
I want to know if that's what you said.
No, that's not what I said.
What did you say? You said
I'm saying the
character.
clown. That's at the funeral.
Yes.
He's being a clown. Why?
Why is the purpose, right?
Yeah, he's being a clown.
Yeah.
Why?
Yes.
Why?
That's who he is.
Yeah, but why?
To ease the whole heavy tension.
There we go.
Yeah.
At work, what is he doing? He's not going to be the clown, but that thing of easing the tension or to bring down the gravity of situations that people can function and focus outside of the immediate.
Don't just put big words.
No.
What I said was right. The clown at the funeral is the clown in the office.
No, but then I don't want people to assume, the guy's making people laugh at the funeral. He's going to be making people laugh at work. No.
What?
He's trying to ease a situation that can go sour.
Yeah, and in the office, it's the same
in the
thing.
office, he's trying to ease a situation. Well, when people in an office are just
it
like,
can be a
oh
rallying call. Yeah, like a rallying call.
Yeah, he's like,
and get them to work.
Yeah, that kind of guy.
Yeah. Cool. So in a relationship, is like that as well. Or does his purpose change?
No, it's not about the change in purpose. His character remains the same.
Yes.
But application. Application. How he applies himself to the various situations.
So your character
does not no. Your character doesn't change, but the way you apply yourself within the various environments can change. Your purpose hasn't changed, but how you apply yourself in those situations can change. Okay.
So what's his purpose? You say purpose doesn't change.
Purpose doesn't change.
Okay. So his purpose at the funeral
and his purpose at work,
at the office,
and his purpose in the relationship, doesn't change.
It's the same.
It's the same.
Okay.
How he applies himself to the setup is different.
And that's a given. Obviously, that's a given because you can't be a clown when the boss is there at work. It doesn't make sense. But in a relationship, you can ease and make things comfortable.
Yeah. That's why you find that some of these funerals, deaths, whatever, you find the boss, we miss this guy. And from what I've been hearing from the family, that's exactly who he was at work. And not because of the clown, but the person, the go-to guy.
Yeah.
The guy who you can just say, hey, things are hectic, and he can just get you out of it.
Yeah.
Purpose never changes.
I like that.
Never changes.
And you know what? Because you're here, you're my guinea pig. I'm going to use you as a guinea pig. Yeah. You walked into it, right?
It's the second time.
So, purposefully, for a whole year, you'd post on your WhatsApp statuses statements that would evoke emotion and probably bring comfort to individuals as well. Correct? Why are you holding your head? Reply.
Because yes, correct.
Correct. Now, I think you said it before, is that you actually said in a podcast. That's why I'm not taking anything from outside the space. You then said to me that you then decided to not do that anymore and to make it, and then you withdrew it, yeah?
I never said that. I never said that.
Oh!
I never said that. Finish the statement. That I decided to withdraw it. I decided to withdraw it.
Your openness to everybody else to be able to have that out there all the time. You're telling me you didn't say that?
I don't. Okay, let me put it this way.
The first podcast, at least the second one, you said it.
I
heard it this week.
I don't remember.
You're pleading the fifth.
No, I don't remember.
You know what, you got plausible there, but it doesn't work here, bro.
I don't remember. I'll have to listen to it this week.
You said that.
I said what?
You had exposed yourself too much because people, and I'm going to use your favorite word here, could you available on that level, on that emotional level, that someone would come to you with certain requests and you'd solve it, an emotional thing. And then you withdrew. Yes, you said that. Then you withdrew, and you're not holding it back. It's ironic because now on a platform like this,
I'm back to square one.
No, it's not square one anymore. It's like you said, the application is
different.
Yes.
Okay.
The application is different.
So
that's why I said to the
day, so at the end of the day, what you're saying
Can you cut his mic?
No.
I haven't finished what I'm saying.
No, I'm trying to interject this. So what you're saying is purpose never changes. Application does.
Which means if you have your purpose defined already,
energies will always find you to release in order to carry out a
that's why I asked you in the beginning, what's your purpose?
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. My purpose.
You've been running away, give me all this woo, blah, 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 blah,
It takes
blah.
like 5-10 minutes to explain because it really exposes.
So now you've been on an hour.
No, I haven't said anything, bro. I haven't said anything.
Have you noticed that he's run away from it? Because I think it's difficult to do.
No, it's what's difficult?
To define what's your purpose.
My purpose.
Yes.
Because of my Christian background, no, I need you to
release that. Let's release the Christian thing.
No,
I want Vusa.
I'm trying to let you know. I need you want to know. Because of my Christian background and sort of principles that I learned and I applied in my life.
Nature.
I kind of figured it out.
Okay.
And it's based on a specific scripture. That's why it was easy for me to do it to my kids.
Okay. I should have seen that. Yeah.
So mine is based on a scripture in the Bible, where paraphrase.
Okay.
It literally talks about being in a position to assist those that have been, I won't use the word ostracized, but just under immense, not bondage, but tension and pressure.
Okay. That is so you.
Without going deep into it, because it has a whole 4 verses aligned to it. And I heard it once. It was in a church service. I'll never forget that service. I heard it, and this guy was reading, and I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
This is me.
And that changed my life because it made things so clear to me.
Of what you are supposed to do.
Yeah. So that's why it's easy for me to spend 3 hours after fixing your car.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, 100%.
That's why it's easy for me when
you're choreographing, bruh. You're like that.
You know, that's why it's easy
for me. They talk about you now.
It didn't dawn on me prior to that, really.
Yeah.
That's why it's easy for me to, when I get to a certain, I was invited. There was a friend of mine celebrating a 40th, and it was just posted on WhatsApp to specific individuals. And I was one of those individuals, but I couldn't get there on time. It was a Saturday, and because of work, I couldn't get there on time. I got there pretty late, but as I walked in, her younger sister came to me and said, "But you," I said, "What?" "You were supposed to have been the MC, the surprise MC." I was like, "Yeah, surprise." And when I sat down, I was like, snap. Okay, there's always going to be a situation that is going to require that specific skill set, because that's my purpose.
Yeah.
And so when I fix a car, it's easy for me to sit down, and especially with the females, the female owners of the cars.
Yeah.
And I explain to them, this is what's going on with your car.
Yeah.
Because of A, B,
because they
C,
don't
D.
know anything about their cars.
All they do is just turn the key.
That's all. The red lights are decoration.
Exactly. Oh, we're having Christmas early.
This is an oil check light. How long has it been on? Ever since I bought it.
You know what I mean? For them, Christmas is early. Christmas lights. You know what I mean?
Red lights. I don't know what it's doing.
So I have to explain it and walk them through it, so that by the time they leave, if they're going to see their husbands or significant others or the guy in charge of the fleet at work, they'll explain as though they're fixing the car. It makes them understand what's going on. And to me, if they don't come back to me to fix their car, at least they know more, and they're better, they're more at ease. That's just me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I go to school, pick up my kids, I'm that funky parent.
Yeah.
I'm playing the latest beats. Windows are wide open. Like, when I leave the school, I'm driving like I stole it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what, is that your dad?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I'm grooming my daughter to take over choreography. There's a video that we had to send to the client. The client is overseas. So we did the video to send to them so they see what they're doing. And then my daughter decided to show her friends. And they're like, so who's this guy you dance with? I goes, that's my dad. I goes, no, you're lying. No, that's my dad. You dance with your dad? To that music? I was like, yeah. He goes, no.
Some parents, we don't talk to them.
You know, no. It's no. I wish I had a dad like yours. You know what I mean? It just try and let people. That's me. So what I want to do is allow people to define, like the same thing that I said to you about 3-4 podcasts ago, and my daughter just did something crazy and said, hey,
yeah,
you're at an age where people are going to start understanding you by how they define you. Not by what you do, not by what they see from you, but what they see in you.
Yeah.
And those are the things that I'm trying to push forth. And everybody needs to have that. That's what I'm saying. Everybody must be a maverick, because being a maverick is you are stuck on focusing on being the best version of yourself.
I'm going to quick fire some questions to you now.
You know, I don't know. Is this a podcast or is just fire Vusa kind of thing today?
Are you feeling vulnerable?
Not at all.
You're feeling vulnerable?
Not at all.
So?
I am.
So just take it.
I'm hundreds.
Okay,
boss.
cool.
I'm hundreds.
What's a man's purpose in a relationship?
A man's purpose in a relationship. Chris, I need to say something right now.
You know what I'm waiting for. You know what I'm waiting for, right?
Chris, I need to say something to you right now. Some of these questions that you're asking, for me, I cannot answer with one word, one sentence. It's because it.
But this is a quick fire. Come on, you got an answer for everything.
What is a man's role in a relationship?
Yes, give me a great cryptic one. Just you've been posting this stuff up for years and sharing with individuals about this stuff. So let's go.
A man's relationship in a man's role, a man's purpose.
Yes,
in a relationship. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. In any situation that occurs, any situation, and I'm very conscious that Me Too and all this gender women stuff might just say whatever. I couldn't care less. Don't give a, you know. A man's purpose in any relationship is one, be the initial building block. The initial.
Okay.
I won't say the initial foundation, because if he's the only foundation, then there's no relationship. He's just there on his own, and everything else is just there. So if things crumble, it's wholly up to him. But a relationship is not based on its sole entity.
No.
So a man's purpose is to be initial.
Yeah. So he'll be the first contact.
I won't say first contact, but he's going to be the initial viewpoint.
Okay.
When I say initial viewpoint, I mean not that the buck starts with him or stops with him, but he has to be the one that starts it all.
Okay.
Yes, he may have ladies that will hit on him and what have you, but he's the one that starts something.
He sets the tone.
Or he sets the tone. That's the right phrase.
Okay.
He sets the tone.
Yeah.
So if
it's not set by him, there's a challenge.
It is.
Okay.
There's a serious challenge.
Cool. So the purpose of a man in a relationship is to set the tone.
He sets the tone.
Nice, right? Okay. Purpose of a woman.
Purpose of a woman is to understand the tone.
Oh, I like that.
You know, because
what did you say last week? What did you say? Chengera, what? Say it again.
Chengera.
Yes. That is the purpose of a woman. Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
And you can use it either way. Uno chengera cha uno chengeta. Uno chengeta cha uno chengera.
Translate for people out there.
Kuchengera cha uno chengeta is you become very obsessive with what you're possessive over.
Yeah.
Or kuchengeta cha uno chengera, you are very possessive.
Yeah.
About what you're obsessed about.
Yeah.
And I say it with a lot of vigor, not to do it in violation of somebody's personal space, but to do it with the intention of making sure that this person is the better version of themselves.
Yeah.
So a guy should set the tone. The lady should understand the tone.
Yeah.
If he's gonna be singing his whole life in the key of A, if you're a musician, B, the woman has listened to the key of A. Then for her to make music with the guy, she must harmonize that same key of A.
See, this is the stuff that you used to write up there.
You see, same purpose, different platform.
Exactly. Now you understand where I was going with this.
Yeah, so energies will always support you and will give you an opportunity to always fulfill your purpose.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're you're a CEO, whether you're a manager, whether you're a clerk, whether you're a gardener, whether you're a maid, whether you're a teenager, whatever you're doing to fulfill your purpose, the energies will come and support you for that. And that is. But now, because of everything we've been talking about, dropping the bag, all these things, management, the penny drops, all of that stuff. It's an issue of, are you playing the right key, and are they harmonizing with that key? So when somebody drops the bag, it's because they've decided to use a different key. Yeah. And there's no harmony anymore.
You've lost your purpose?
You've lost your purpose. Well, actually not lost your purpose. You have lost the momentum in which to fulfill a set intention. And you've diverted your purpose. Okay. I laugh. I don't know that I mentioned it to you or whatever. This guy, I think in his 20s, 30s, he was dating some hot chick from his church. And everybody knew these two are getting married. These two,
It's amazing how society always does that, right?
And even the church, because they were in love, you know. Hey, and he was destined to become the pastor, the youth pastor, because he was just in touch with the kids. Yeah. From nowhere,
from left field comes this person.
This lady just rocks up, gets into this guy's personal space. He's distracted from the chick he was dating. Bam, marries this woman.
What happened there?
Who knows? They continue. 50s, late 50s, early 60s. This guy's wife dies. Yeah, just age. Dies. Yeah?
Yeah.
But when they got married, this whole pastoring stuff, it was neither here nor there. He just continued his life.
Okay.
The wife dies. True story. The wife dies. He moans. Okay, he's trying to figure out, now what do I do? Ex-chick from 30 years back.
The one that
got away. The one that got away.
How did she get away if he walked away?
Came back into the peripheral. No, we're just using that as
okay.
Yeah. Came back into his immediate environment. The wife is dead now. Came back. Hey, how you doing? Hey, catch up. Lo and behold, she's unattached. He's unattached. At that age, they reconnected deeply because he knew the buttons, she knew the buttons. They got married at that age. From nowhere, true story. He still had the passion.
Really?
To reach out to kids. Became the youth pastor. And started following the trends, baggy jeans, the works.
At that age.
Impact to the youth in his environment, in his community, was intense. It was like, where have you been all these years?
He had run away from his purpose.
But your purpose will still find you. The energy will still
no matter where you go.
No matter where you go. So that's why it's important. When you play the key, somebody must harmonize. But if they fail to harmonize with you over time because of familiarity, because they assume you're not going to go anywhere. After all, I've given you 3 children.
My purpose was to give you 3 children.
When they do that, there's discord and there's lack of harmony. But a time will come when there'll be another co-pilot, or a situation will avail itself for the energy to say, no, get back.
That's a beautiful story.
But you may, before you say it's all gone, it's actually a true story. It's actually a true story. Everybody's given that chance. Everybody's given that chance. Everyone.
So most people who fail or struggle in life are running away from that.
Yeah.
So how did you identify?
Let's not say struggle. Let's just say those that have
fail,
internal.
But struggle. Struggle is a good word.
Okay. Let's not use the word fail, but struggle. Because sometimes
you excel in things that are not even supposed to be you.
So there's some people that just, the mere fact that they rock up in a situation. I wrote that down somewhere.
Like I said, you're my guinea pig.
I said that.
He fixes cars, to put it bluntly. That's what this guy does. But when you speak to him, he gives you this. Like he's from some psychological group, whatever.
Blame it on my parents.
Yeah, all over the place.
I said it. I wrote it down somewhere. If you fully understand your definition of it as an individual, and you understand your purpose, you do not have to change an environment or an atmosphere, for lack of a better word, to suit your purpose.
It will change to meet you.
It will change to meet you because you are defined in who you are. Did you ever have the chance to meet, or not even to shake his hand, but to be in the presence of the late RG?
No.
My guy.
He was an enigma.
Just I attended a wedding once, and he was a VIP. I don't know how he was linked to the guy who was getting married. He just walked in. He didn't have to know who he was
or to do anything,
but you could tell
that's the man.
This guy knows who he is. And there's certain people that walk. It's not about the fragrance that they have. No. You can just tell this guy knows what he's up to, because he is affirmed within himself and confirmed within his mindset who he is, and he's happy and is excited about his definition.
Yeah, it's like you read my mind. That's where I was going with that.
And so when you understand definition, because definition precedes purpose.
Yeah,
that's where the thing is.
Yes.
So there's something.
You've actually said that a couple of times. This is why I brought this up. You think I'm going through the back door?
No, you always go.
I presented this in the front, with all the fanfare in the world.
Fanfare.
Next moment, I'm being told it's the back door, but it's exactly what you said.
Your defined position will refine your position. Knowing what you want will motivate where you will stand.
Purpose.
I wrote that a long time ago.
Purpose.
When it was. A defined position will direct any discussion you encounter. Then I wrote, determination of purpose is defined through power in passion. Greatness is not about the perceived value of accomplishment. It is about the actual physical and tangible commitment to serving. So purpose has got nothing to do with getting. Purpose has got everything to do with giving. That's what it is. When you realize you get into a place where you always want to get, you have not fulfilled your purpose. All you're doing is you're just being a parasite. You just need to be in a state where you're always giving, because giving defines purpose.
Giving defines purpose.
Giving releases purpose, because what you're doing is you're wanting somebody else to succeed by stepping on your shoulders. So the broader your shoulders are, the more that they can stand firmly.
Yeah.
But how do you get your shoulders to be broad? You are being fed to do that. So the higher you want to get, lift somebody else higher than you. That's it. This is not supposed to be some sort of sermon podcast. Just talking about purpose. Oh, because last week we talked about management. Oh, decision.
This is why he's running away from his purpose. This is what he does.
Decision precedes definition. Definition precedes identity. Identity precedes purpose.
Remember when you told me that?
When did I say that?
4th podcast.
Really?
You write a lot, my guy.
I forgot.
Yeah, we've realized that you do forget a lot of things, and you write them down. Yeah. My purpose for this was just to see that, because my challenge is a lot of people don't have that.
Don't have what? Purpose?
Yes, and they are like rudderless ships, just meandering without a direction of where they're supposed to go.
Meandering through the maze of mediocrity.
Exactly, and this is what life is for them.
A fruitful end.
Exactly. And it goes into everything that you have. All these young men around us, they'll say that I want to pick on motivational speakers. I want to do this. I want to do that, and they'll write all this stuff down. But like you rightfully said, if you don't have the clear definition of what your purpose is, what is all that going to be?
That fellow creating wonders, the savage guy.
Yes.
He says, the crazy thing about life is you can't blame anybody about life.
No.
If you're not happy with life as it is, change it.
Change it.
It's you. Problem is, not many people can do it because there's no definition. We're talking about management last week and how management has an effect. The reason why management has an effect on any entity, organism, relationship, it's because it is clearly defined in what it wants to achieve.
It's got a purpose.
It's got a purpose. Yeah. And so where there's no purpose, somebody has dropped the ball. They are no longer shareholding.
Nope.
They are now lower management.
Yep.
And when they're when there's lower management, there's no functionality.
There's nothing.
There's no foresight.
Yeah. So you find people who are able to get everything that they want have defined that.
Oh, yes.
Purpose. Yes.
And because they're getting what they want, is their definition, their purpose is making sure that they feed that which is going to feed them. And so you will always be caught in the loop of inspiration and then celebration. And inspiration and then celebration. When somebody drops the ball, and it's usually dropping the ball when it's time for celebration. So when you cut off time for celebration, then you've eliminated inspiration.
Yeah.
And so you get stagnant.
Yeah.
It's not chaos. It's just
chaotic.
stagnancy.
It is.
No. It's not chaos. It's stagnancy.
As you've noticed, he's still on a Hollywood tip. Stagnancy for him seems that there's hope and there's a possibility to go somewhere else. Let's be honest about it.
I'm saying no. Here's a story.
Magaro siyana. Kana mapepo sinyasina kufanana. You're not going in the same direction the way you're supposed to be. There is no stagnancy. It's chaotic.
Have you ever run out of fuel?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
And then you just pull over the side of the road.
Yes.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. You've pulled over the side of the road so that you don't what?
Cause any chaos on the road.
Right. Mm-hmm. So your stagnancy is not breeding chaos.
No.
Exactly. So stagnancy and chaos are two different things. Chris, just don't fight it.
Do you have another hour?
Don't fight it. Your stagnancy is not breeding about chaos for everybody else. That's how I'm looking at it. The chaos now that you are trying to bring about is the chaos is being caused of where you are in relation to where you want it to be. So you've got your own internal chaos. That's not chaotic. You're just stagnant and you're pissed off and fed up that there's stagnancy. That's it. But stagnancy and chaos are two different things.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap.
No, don't even wrap it. Because Nokia today, he said it has to be HTC. Then he said his iPhone.
Go back to minus. We're good to go. Where are minus?
I'm just fed up.